I'm going to explain where sus, or suspended, chords come from, and then I'll show you how to play some. Here's a standard 1-4-5-1 progression in the key of G major. G, C, D, and G again. And now I'm going to embellish the D chord by holding a note over from the C chord. That G that I held over is called a suspension. Normally that G from the C chord would move down to the F sharp in the D chord. Now this F sharp is the third of a D major chord. When I played the G, I played the fourth instead. And we call this D with the suspension D sus 4 for D with the suspended fourth, or just D sus with the fourth implied in the name. In the olden days, we're talking Renaissance, Baroque, classical periods, suspensions were set up by holding a note over from the previous chord. Now in modern music, that's not always the case. A lot of times these sus4 chords just come right out of the blue. Either way, what's happening is that when you play a sus or sus4 chord, you're raising the third of the chord to a fourth, and this applies to seventh chords as well. First progression again, this time with the D7. And then holding that G over from the C chord to make it a D7 sus 4. I'm going to show you some open and movable sus4 chords. Before I do that, I'm going to very briefly interrupt myself to let you know that I do teach private lessons online, and I have several guitar books and solo arrangements available. If you're interested, check out my website. Links in the description. First, open chords. The red circles show thirds and fourths so you can see which note is being altered to change a chord from a major or a seventh chord into a sus4 type of chord. And you can find all these diagrams in the free Suspended Chords PDF. I'll leave a link for that in the description. A major. The third is on the second string. We raise that. And now we have an A sus4. A7. The third's in the same place on the second string. Again, we just raise it by one fret. Now we have an A7 sus 4. Here's another common way to play an A7. Third is still in the same place. Just raise it. A7 sus 4. B7. Third is on the fourth string. Just slide your first finger in a little bit. And you have a B7 sus 4, or B7 sus. For the C chord, I am not going to play the open E string. That would give us a third in the chord. We already have a third being played right here on the fourth string. I only want to raise one third, so we're just not going to play that first string. And then a C sus 4, just raise that third by one fret. C7, I am again not going to play the open E string for the same reason. Third's in the same place as the C. Do some refingering here to raise that third. And you have a C7 sus 4. D was in one of our examples. The third is played on the first string. Raise it. D sus 4. D7, same thing. Third's in the same spot. Raise it. D7 sus 4. E major chord. This time our third is on the third string. Raise that. E sus 4, or E sus. E7. Third's in the same place. Raise it for an E7 sus 4. The four string F chord. The third is also on the third string. Raise that third. This is a pretty chord. F sus 4, or F sus. The G chord, just like the C chord, I'm going to leave a string out that you would normally play. Normally in a G chord, you would put your a finger on the second fret of the fifth string. That gives you a third in the chord. We also have a third that's being played as the open B string, and that's the one I'm going to raise. So playing fingerstyle, I don't have to worry about it. I just don't play that 5th string. If you're strumming, all you have to do is take your 3rd finger, flatten it a little bit, so that when you do strum the 5th string, it doesn't matter, you don't get a note. So G chord, I can raise the 3rd by putting my 1st finger down here, and G sus 4. G7, I am also, for the same reason, not going to play the 5th string. So G7, 3rd's in the same place as the G. This time you do a little bit of a bar, and you have a G7 sus 4. These next sus chords are movable. To use them, you need to know the names of the notes on the fretboard, or at least on strings 5 and 6. I'm going to play all my roots at the 5th fret, so if I'm playing on the 5th string as my root, it's going to be some sort of a D chord. If my root's on the 6th string, it's going to be some sort of an A chord. Major shape with the root on the 6th string, so this will be an A major because of where I'm playing it. Of course, again, you can move these all around. The 3rd is on the 3rd string, so just raise that, and you have a movable sus 4 or sus chord. Here's a 7th chord with the root on the 6th string. This will be an A7, just because of where I'm playing the root. 3rd's in the same place as that first shape we looked at on the 3rd string. Raise it, and you have a movable 7 sus or 7 sus 4 chord. This major shape has a root on the 5th string, and where I'm playing it at the 5th fret would make it a D major. Again, you can move these all around. The 3rd is on the 4th string, so we need to refinger a little bit to make this happen, but we raise it. You have a nice sus 4 chord there. This 7th chord has a root on the 5th string as well. Root's in the same place as the shape we just looked at on the 4th string. Raise it. 7 sus 4 shape. And this major chord, root on the 5th string, 5th fret, so it's a D. Again, you can move these all around. The 3rd of this chord is on the 2nd string. Keep the bar with your ring finger there. Just plop your 4th finger down, and you have a sus 4. And then this 7th chord also has a root on the 2nd string. Slide your 4th finger out a little bit to raise it, and you have a 7 sus 4 chord. To use those movable shapes, you need to know the names of the notes on the fretboard. If you need some help with that, check out this video, and check out this lesson if you're looking for strumming patterns. And for more guitar lessons, music theory, and solo guitar arrangements, please subscribe.